Hey everybody, it's WillBits! We're playing Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Path, and the music's real sad, real somber. Confessions, heartbreak. Miss Hall, have you composed yourself? Yes. What you did, no matter the reason, was unforgivable. I don't forgive you. Get out. I mean, go to jail. Or something. Yes, I know. However, you committed this crime in order to prove Mr. Master's innocence. If the true culprit is someone else, we have a duty to investigate.
Overruled!
No false evidence from the IS-7 incident remains in the official case files. Moreover, there is no evidence to lend credence to Miss Hall's testimony. We should first arrest Miss Hall as the culprit behind today's incident.
Objection!
We cannot be certain that all the case files are accurate. After all, the prosecutor in the case has a history of forging evidence.
Overruled!
Are you suggesting that the PIC overlooked such a prosecutor? That's not of my concern. The truth is that evidence was falsified. And the fact that Dover's body from 18 years ago was just discovered proves it. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I can see remnants of Prosecutor Von Karma within you. What did you say? You try to deceive the PIC and fabricate the truth. Let me inform you of my, or rather the PIC's, logic. You coming at me? Can't attack my argument, so you gotta attack me personally? That's called an ad hominem, Your Honor. It's bad form. I acknowledge that Prosecutor Von Karma fabricated the information about the body. Thank you. However, he successfully convicted Mr. Master as an accomplice. I believe the true culprit was Miss Curator herself. She even attempted to murder Mr. Gustavia today in order to pin the blame on him. Is that really what the PIC believes, or is that just what you believe? I am the Senate, Your Honor? Yes, every word I utter is for the sake of law and order. It seems she intends to hide the truth for the sake of the PIC. At this rate, neither Mr. Master nor Miss Hall will be saved. Alright, let's see what holes we can poke in this argument by pressing it until it falls apart. Like a bad pie. I acknowledge the Prosecutor Von Karma fabricated the information about the body.
Hold it!
Uh-huh. If you acknowledge that, why won't you reopen the case? The goddess of law does not err in her judgments except for when she does, and then she still doesn't. While Prosecutor Von Karma may have used underhanded tactics. If you ask me, it's all been bogus ever since Von Karma fabricated evidence. That's called a mistrial, and you gotta throw it out and start over. You know, if you're doing it right. And you claim that justice was served. What's the PIC thinking? I can already declare my verdict. There is no need for further investigation. Let's hear your explanation on the matter then. However, he successfully convicted Mr. Master as an accomplice.
Hold it!
I heard that the biggest factor in Mr. Master's conviction was his confession. If Prosecutor Von Karma had a hand in his confession, the ruling may not be just.
Overruled!
The initial investigation was handled by Detective Replacer. Replacer? Yes, great, good. He was the one who obtained the confession, according to the official reports. All I can say is that the ruling has already been handed down. Jeez, why does Miss Courtney have to be so stubborn? Is the PIC so high and mighty? They sure seem like the archenemy of prosecutors, to say the least. So they're kind of like what the police are to great thieves, huh? Says the great thief who nonchalantly works alongside the police. I believe the true culprit was Miss Curator herself.
Hold it!
Based on what? Just do you feel like it? Are you saying that both Miss Hall and Mr. Master murdered Isaac Dover? Mr. Master committed the murder while Miss Curator moved the body. That's what I believe.
Oh, how can you say that? Oh, we would never kill Monsieur Dover.
Did you not steal the body and preserve it for 18 years? It is only natural to suspect you of being an accomplice. She has already confessed to her crimes, and now is not the time to judge her of her past crimes. In that case, let's judge Miss Hall for her current crime. She even attempted to murder Mr. Gustavia today in order to pin the blame on him.
Hold it!
Well, I'm not sure our contradiction is in here. If she wanted to pin the crime on somebody, why choose Mr. Gustavia? Perhaps Mr. Gustavia suspected Miss Hall was the criminal, as he attempted to confirm whether or not the Gemini sculpture was genuine. He was caught in a trap meant to silence him forever.
Objection!
Can you prove that theory? Mr. Gustavia is currently teetering on the brink of death. There's probably no way to prove it unless he regains consciousness. In other words, there is nothing we can do for now. That can't be true. There must still be something we can do. You still don't get it, do you? Allow me to give you a clearer explanation. We already have ample evidence for both the IS-7 incident and today's poison gas incident. Okay, is that new? By ample evidence, you mean? For the IS-7 incident, we have a body, the murder weapon, and a pair of suspects. For the poison gas incident, we have the 2 chemicals and Miss Hall's confession. Furthermore, I have finished collecting all the evidence necessary. For your own PIC hearing, Prosecutor Edgeworth. What? How can you say something like that so casually? Miles, you know you're always welcome to join the Edgeworth Law Offices after you lose your prosecution degree, you know, license, whatever. You can hang out. We got some toilets you can scrub, buddy. Judge Courtney, I'd like to ask that you refrain from making such needless remarks. I understand. Well, regardless. There's no need to investigate any further. But what if I say yes, there is?
Hold it!
Are you saying that there's nothing left for us to investigate? We've already exhausted all ends in regard to the evidence. This court will accept no further deliberations. I shall now deliver my verdict for the defendant, Catherine Hall. I hereby pronounce you... Hold it. There's still a need for further investigation. If you wish to halt my verdict, please do so with evidence. That is, if there is any evidence that requires further deliberation. I cannot allow this case to end here. There's still something that needs to be cleared up. Looks like I'll have to show Judge Courtney something to convince her. Okay, so... Wow! What do we throw at this chick to get her to let us investigate some more? What still needs to be cleared up? I think I'm gonna try to show the file here and just see what happens. See what comes out. That seems to be the place to go. Because she's saying we have ample evidence, and according to the notes, we kind of don't.
Objection!
Not this one. It's a good guess, I think. Judge Courtney, could you take a look at this piece of evidence?
I'm afraid I cannot accept that piece of evidence as evidence. It is not evident. I do not believe it has any relation to my testimony.
Oh. As I expected, she's nothing like Mr. Best. However, I won't back down so easily. Okay. She even attempted to murder Mr. Gustavia today. Is there something with this? Poison gas. I'm gonna try presenting this used gas burner on the attempted murder, because if the trap requires using a burner, how could she know that that would be what he would do?
Objection!
No, it's not this. Because it's obvious you're bluffing. Is that the impression I give off? Next time for sure, I will present evidence that will silence her for good. Okay, alright, okay. This is a hard one, guys. I've pressed everything. It didn't help as much as I would have hoped it would. Mostly, this is the incident that she, like, this statement is the one where she, like, tried to give a verdict, and then they're like, present evidence or shut up, and he was like, no. So, maybe it's here? I think it did show up after I was pressing. Let's present, I guess, the analysis results that we got.
Objection!
Is it the salt? There's still one piece of evidence from the IS-7 incident that remains unsettled. Take a look at this.
This is
the forensic results from the Gemini sculpture that melted in the Winter Palace. According to the results of the analysis, traces of someone's blood were found. Okay. Who does this blood belong to? It's the blood that is mysterious. Is it not the blood belonging to Isaac Dover? Until we know the answer, this case is still open.
There was blood mixed in with the remains of the Gemini sculpture. I have nothing of this from Sebastian.
This was a report from Detective Gumshoe. Of all people. I'd planned to tell Mrs. Best myself.
So even though you had no investigative authority, you still did as you please.
I shall report everything that transpired today to the PIC. I will not avert my eyes from the truth, nor shall I overlook the mistakes of the past. If you wish to report my actions to the PIC, be my guest. Put my service to the test. But in exchange, I want you to let me investigate this case to the very end.
It is not my place to decide such things. I must ask that you check with Sebastian regarding this matter. Hey, good news, you guys! Look who's fine! Thanks to our early detection, Mr. Gustavia's life was saved.
Mr. Gustavia?
So he's alive.
Would you be the one who saved my life? Hey, Mr. Gustavia. You are so resistant, are you not? You've grown so big. This time, this one is your assistant then. No, he's an assistant candidate, and Gregory Edgeworth's son. I'm Miles Edgeworth, a prosecutor. For the twist of fate, I'm in your debt. It is thanks to you that I have completely recovered. There's no need for thanks. Since you're alive, we can reach the truth behind the incident 18 years ago.
What do you speak of?
While you were unconscious, the truth has started to come to light. You may be Isaac Dover's murderer. Maybe. I don't know.
What? Really?
Miss Hall was looking for the criminal behind the events of 18 years ago. That's why she set up poison gas in the Pisces case. Mr. Gustavia, the events of the incident 18 years ago. Tell us what really happened.
I forget.
So you wish to remain silent? Nah, I think he's just meditating about candy. You can sleep standing up? What a useful skill to have. I want to do that. I'm gonna try it right now. Meditation is different from sleeping, though. Mr. Gustavia, please tell us what you did 18 years ago.
I'm the criminal because I fell for the trap. It's not a very funny joke. I'm a victim, not a culprit.
Mr. Gustavia, it has not yet been made clear whether or not you are the criminal. This is only their baseless speculation. Do not concern yourself with the dribble of a prosecutor without jurisdiction.
At least there is one person here who understands.
My name is Justine Courtney. I am a judge. If you would like, I would be happy to assist you. Let us show Prosecutor Edgeworth the truth of 18 years ago.
Understood. I shall prove my innocence to you, Sir Prosecutor.
Objection!
Judge Courtney, is that your answer? Do you intend to bury the truth of the IS-7 incident before it can be brought to light?
I merely believe in the judgments of the goddess of law.
Ultimately, those who render judgment are only human. As long as humans control the law, there is no guarantee that every verdict is correct. If you are going to help conceal the truth, I will not hold back.
I'm looking forward to it.
Lady Justine, what should I do now?
You're being suspected because you set off the poison gas. Can you tell us the reason? Why you opened the Pisces case?
Understood. I came to see Sir Dover's works from 18 years ago. However, I accidentally entered the museum a half hour before it opened.
Miss Hall, there was nobody at the entrance, correct?
Here's how I thought a criminal from 18 years ago might be coming. I had no security guards in place. I didn't even lock the doors. I was very busy with opening preparations, so there was nobody on the first floor. In addition, I locked every palace door aside from the autumn one.
I see. This must have been done in order to lure the criminal to the Autumn Palace. Which is why he ended up entering the Autumn Palace. It's already suspicious that he stuck into the museum in the first place.
The gallery should remain silent. Unless you have evidence that can prove his testimony false, I will not allow any objections.
Look, gallery? This isn't even a courtroom.
Now then, why did you open the Pisces case?
I wish to view Sir Dover's handiwork, of course. The Gemini sculpture. No, it was actually the Pisces, wasn't it? The lid had been frozen shut, so I borrowed a burner to open it. But as soon as I opened the lid, poison gas began pouring out.
That's quite a convenient testimony. It sounds like a total lie, doesn't it?
There are parts of Mr. Gustavia's testimony that I have issues with as well. However, there is no evidence to disprove it.
but that's...
Would it not make sense for a suspicion to fall on Lady Catherine before myself? She may have intended to release the poison gas haphazardly.
Objection!
Kate turned on the sprinklers as soon as the gas was released. She was specifically targeting the person who triggered the trap.
Mr. Gustavia, you were her only target. You are willing to accept the words of this criminal as the truth?
Miss Holmes atoned for her crimes. However, the same can be said for the criminal from 18 years ago.
Mr. Prosecutor, it seems you wish to suspect me to the bitter end. However, I had no reason to murder Sir Dover. If there is no evidence to suggest that I killed him, you cannot suspect me.
Mr. Edgeworth, can't you prove that Mr. Gustavia is the criminal? All we know for sure is that Mr. Gustavia fell victim to the poison gas. No matter how strange his behavior was, it won't prove he committed the murder. But that's, Mr. Shield, is there nothing we can do?
Well, if there isn't any evidence, we should try reorganizing the facts. If Mr. Gustavia was the one who killed Mr. Dover, there must have been a motive.
Motive? Mr. Gustavia himself is denying that such a motive exists.
It's not easy to take another person's life. 18 years ago, your old man also discussed motive with Prosecutor Von Karma. They claim the collaboration is relevant. If Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover's relationship had turned sour. That could serve as a motive for murder. We couldn't talk with Mr. Gustavia 18 years ago, but this time things are different. If we connect everything we've learned so far, the truth might be revealed.
Yes, I suppose so. It seems I must re-examine the information from 18 years ago. I must recall all the details that have remained unexplained. So the glove finger marks on the picture frame was your doing? Delicia denied leaving the finger marks on the frame. If they were left by Mr. Gustavia, he may have been trying to view the angel's recipe. Mr. Master asked me to change the film in the camera. Oh, it seemed the film he prepared in advance wasn't enough.
There wasn't enough film?
It seems the photos he took didn't match up with the amount of film remaining.
Huh, did someone take pictures of the angel's recipes?
Well, he told me himself it might have been just a mistake, though. The information my father collected 18 years ago was certainly not for naught. If there's no evidence, then I shall use logic to reveal the truth.
Press that button. We got 4 things. Okay. Motive for murder, partnership turned sour, remaining film, angel's recipe. The motive for murder is probably either the angel's recipe, maybe, except the partnership turned sour is a little more murdery. Let's try to combine these two. Good. Yes, great.
Mr. Gustavia, you collaborated with the victim, Isaac Dover, to create your dessert, didn't you?
Oh, it seems you know about my secret.
Mr. Shields told me about it. Mr. Dover handled the design while you were in charge of the taste. Is that correct?
Back then, my training had been insufficient.
It seems you worked together through the semi-finals, but not during the finals. Why is that?
We both wish to compete in the finals against Sir Master on our own merits.
Objection!
You must have also helped with Isaac Dover's dessert, even during the finals.
What makes you able to declare something like that?
Didn't you tell Prosecutor Von Karma about it yourself 18 years ago? That you cooperated until the day before the finals.
The sculptures in Mr. Dover's room were all made out of sherbet. Such an amount would most likely need to be left overnight to freeze, which means Mr. Gustavia prepared Mr. Dover's sherbet in advance the day before. That's right. So you realize Gustavia's cooperation ended the day before the finals.
Then why did Mr. Dover not help Mr. Gustavia in return?
Objection! The views of the dead are of no concern to me.
Why did Isaac Dover not help you in return? If there is a reason why your partnership with Isaac Dover broke down, that would be a motive for murder. Pop!
That could be a possibility, eh? However, Sir Dover and I ended our partnership peacefully.
A peaceful breakup? That's hard to imagine.
Not to mention it's absurd to think that I killed Sir Dover in Sir Master's room. I couldn't have killed Sir Dover while Sir Master was also there, making his desserts.
Hmm.
In other words, there is no way I could have committed the murder.
That's not true. If there was a moment when Mr. Master was absent from the room, I could prove that it was possible for Mr. Gustavia to commit the murder. Okay, so the remaining film... Timing of Dover's murder. And the angel's recipe. Let's see. I think that they're clearly leading us towards... The timing has thrown me off because that could be related. But I think the initial combination was probably going to be if somebody wanted to get the angel's recipe, they couldn't just steal the book. So maybe they took the camera and took a bunch of pictures of it? And that's why there's a bunch of, like, there was a lot of film that went missing? Let's see what happens when we connect those two. Just try to simmer this down to the component parts. If he had photographed the contents of the angel's recipe, he wouldn't need to steal it. Perhaps Mr. Gustavia used Mr. Master's camera to take the pictures. If he had stolen the actual recipe book, the police would have found out. I see. Pictures, eh? The problem is the time in which he entered Mr. Master's room.
Mr. Gustavia could have moved around freely during the afternoon tea, right? Because it seems both him and Mr. Dover did not participate in the afternoon tea.
If I remember correctly, the only time we can prove that Dover was still alive is...
The victim was not seen, as he stayed locked up in his room after the contest had begun. The only one who could have unlocked the locked rooms was Jeff Master.
Was Master's desserts all that you ate?
Actually, no. After the afternoon tea, I also eat Icy's desserts.
After the contest began, Isaac Dover was locked up in his room. If we assume he was killed at some point before Delicia snuck into his room, then there is a high chance that he was killed before the afternoon tea was over. So we have two things. Let's combine the things. So Master had to have been out of the room, but he was busy taking tea when the other two weren't. Right? Yes? Not that I had a lot of options for combining at this point. Isaac Dover was alive up until the afternoon tea began. Ergo, that is the only time when Gustavia could have killed Dover. Prosecutor Edgeworth, are you satisfied? Sorry, but I am far from satisfied, because I am finally starting to see the truth behind this case. Are you saying you've found some evidence to show us that truth? No, there's no need to present the evidence. I'm just going to wildly speculate and bluff for a while first, since we can just have Mr. Gustavia tell us the truth. So this is where you use that, right? Indeed. Mr. Gustavia, there is one thing I want you to tell me. You like playing chess?